When we experience stress, our body kicks into a stress response. That stress or that experience of stress could be something that we see, or it could be something that we in fact just imagine. We can have the same stress response. What happens is that the thought stimulates a part of the brain known as the hypothalamus, which in turn stimulates the pituitary gland, then stimulating the adrenal medulla and the adrenal cortex. The adrenal glands are those two little hats sitting on top of the kidneys. The adrenal medulla produces hormones such as adrenaline, allowing our heart rate to go up or breathing to get much more rapid. Then we also get the release of cortisol. Cortisol is also an important stress hormone, raising our blood sugar and raising our blood pressure, and also having an effect on the immune system. When you're ready, turn to the next slide. As I mentioned, the stress response, again that stimulation from the brain down to the adrenal glands, can happen when we actually have something that's physically threatening us, whether it's running from a predator or trying to get out of the way of something that will physically harm us. We have this, again, increase in our heart rate, increase in tension of our muscles, increase in breathing rate, and diversion of blood flow. But again, these things can also happen the same way simply by thinking about something. It could be thinking about something that happened to you in the past, or it could be thinking about something that is imaginary in the future. When you're ready, move to the next slide. I love this quote by the Dalai Lama talking about the future. Take a moment and read this quote, and when you're ready, move to the next slide. Stress or stress response or the hormones related to it are not the problem. In fact, they are important. We wouldn't be here without the evolutionary adaptation of causing stress hormones to allow us to survive. It's the high levels of cortisol, chronically elevated, that don't come down, which is the problem. This again leads to chronic high blood pressure, premature aging, stomach ulcers, high blood sugar, diabetes, etc. Fortunately, we know there is a tool to help reduce these cortisol levels. When you're ready, move to the next slide. This is just a study, one of many studies in fact, looking at how mindfulness can decrease cortisol as measured in the blood. These are medical students, and they were measured at 8 o'clock in the morning, measured their cortisol levels, which is when it's supposed to be highest for most people. And then after a 4-day mindfulness practice, they measured the blood cortisol levels again and found a significant reduction in cortisols from just mindfulness. When you're ready, move to the next slide. The way in which mindfulness releases cortisol is by decreasing activation to certain parts of the brain. A few slides ago, we saw that the stress response begins from a thought to the hypothalamus, to the pituitary gland, and then down to the adrenal glands. This is a similar picture, but shown in red is these areas get deactivated. So the amygdala, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and so on become deactivated, thereby not allowing the release of these stress hormones anymore. When you're ready, move to the next slide. So since we know that thoughts can, or mindfulness rather, can decrease the release of cortisol, we're going to do a meditation now, which is a simple guided meditation to help bring down your feelings of stress. At the sound of the bell, I'll begin the guided meditation, and at the sound of the double bell, we'll conclude this meditation. To begin, find yourself in an upright, dignified posture, hands in a symmetrical position, feet flat on the floor, and a place you won't be disturbed for approximately 5 to 7 minutes. When you're ready, we'll begin. Begin by daydreaming yourself to a place that's very beautiful, very peaceful, very safe. Start paying attention to your breathing. Let yourself take a nice few deep breaths. Let your breath move into your belly, bringing it all the way down into your belly. And your out breath, allow it to be a real letting go, as if with that letting go you release tension, discomfort, distraction, anything you don't need to hold on to. You're just shifting your attention now from the outer world to an inner world, inducing a state of peacefulness and relaxation within you. Imagine that when you're breathing in fresh energy and oxygen that's flowing through your whole body, because you are. And imagine with every out breath you let go of tension, a little discomfort, a little distraction. Allow any sounds that are in the background of your awareness to just fade back. They're not important to this purpose right now. Begin to imagine yourself going to a place that's very beautiful to you, very peaceful, very safe and secure, a place you feel really good to be at. This might be a place you've actually been to in your life, or it might be a place you've visited before in your imagination. Or it can be a new place, some combination, maybe a place you've never imagined yourself going. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's beautiful, peaceful, and safe. Allow yourself going to this place the best way you can, and in your own way. Look around. What do you see in this special, quiet, peaceful place? Notice the colors and the shapes and the things that you see that are there. Notice any sounds that you might be experiencing in this special place. Or perhaps it's just very quiet. Notice if there's any fragrance or smell in the air. Notice the temperature, the time of the day, the season of the year. Especially begin to notice any feelings of peacefulness, of relaxation or comfort. Allow yourself to relax into them and to feel that relaxation, that peacefulness. There's nothing else to do right now and nowhere else to go. Simply enjoying a few quiet moments in this very beautiful and peaceful place. Find the spot where you feel most comfortable and allow yourself to get settled there. Enjoy a few quiet moments, peaceful, relaxed, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just enjoying this place of beauty and peacefulness. Spend the next minute in silent meditation, just experiencing this beautiful place. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to this beautiful, safe, and peaceful place. That concludes today's meditation. I hope you've enjoyed the understanding of cortisol and stress hormones and how they affect your physiology. I hope you also have enjoyed learning how mindfulness can reduce these hormones if they're chronically elevated. I look forward to seeing you and chatting with you again tomorrow.